Amber Heard's attempt to have her insurer pay for her defamation defense appears to be in jeopardy. Los Angeles, Amber Heard, an actress, may have failed in her bid to get one of her insurance companies to pay back the hundreds of thousands of dollars she spent on legal fees to fight her ex-husband Johnny Depp's defamation case. Ahead of a Monday hearing, U.S. District Judge George Wu in Los Angeles issued a provisional decision rejecting Heard's claims against New York Marine and General Insurance for breach of contract and violation of the implied requirement of good faith and fair dealing. The Aquaman actor filed the counterclaims in an NY Marine lawsuit that was filed last year. The insurer is asking for a judgment that it shouldn't be obligated to cover Heard's legal fees or the verdict against her under the $1 million policy, since her culpability for defamation was the consequence of a willful conduct on her part. Heard claims that NY Marine breached its duty to represent her under the insurance contract that covered her completely for personal liability. She claims that the insurer specifically reserved the right to refuse coverage on the grounds that she intentionally acted in a way that was intended to be defamatory of Depp, and as a result, she created a conflict of interest that required her to hire independent counsel rather than the attorneys the insurer had chosen to defend her. Before the case went to trial in Virginia last year, NY Marine's designated counsel left the case. According to Wu's tentative order, NY Marine agreed to pay Travelers Commercial Insurance back some of the money it contributed to Heard's defense in the Depp case, but hasn't done so. The insurer asserted that because Heard had previously retained counsel to represent her in the Depp lawsuit, the insurer was no longer obligated to pay for her defense when she chose to hire a different group of attorneys. Wu cited a ruling he made in a similar litigation between Travelers and NY Marine regarding who was responsible for paying what for Heard's defense last year. In that case, the judge had reached the conclusion that the insured is the only client under state law of the attorney that the insurer has designated to represent the insured in Virginia, where the trial was held, unlike in locations like California. As a result, the judge ruled that the Virginia attorney the insurance had chosen had no conflict of interest, and therefore NY Marine was not obligated to pay Travelers for the cost of hiring new counsel. Wu stated that even if the court were willing to explore the idea of effectively going back and reviewing the ruling it made in the Travelers case more than 14 months ago, Heard had not persuaded it to do so. A request for comment on the potential judgment was not answered by Heard's attorney in the insurance lawsuit by the time of publication. After concluding that the Pirates of the Caribbean star had been defamed by an opinion piece in the Washington Post, a Virginia jury awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and an additional $5 million in punitive damages. Heard claimed in the article that she had come to symbolize domestic abuse and referred to the time in 2016 when she had filed for a temporary restraining order against her then-husband Depp. The ex-couple reached a $1 million settlement in December.